Hey, today I'm going to give you 6 tips on how to get people to like you from the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, written by Dale Carnegie. Now, they did some analysis of phone calls and phone call conversations, and they realized that the most used word was the word I, used 3,900 times in 500 different conversations. And this really stood out compared to the other words that people were using. And this is to become genuinely interested in people. Now, when you talk to someone, you need to understand that they have their interests and you have yours. When you find their interests, you should be interested in their interests. For example, I had a friend who played the keyboard. Now, I played several other instruments. I played the keyboard, guitar, I could play the flute, but he played the keyboard specifically. And since he liked the keyboard, we had to talk about the keyboard, since I was genuinely interested in what he had to say about the keyboard, as opposed to what I had to say about the instruments that I played. And this is tip number 1. Become genuinely interested in people. Now, tip number 2 is when you are walking down a hallway or you open a door for someone, what do? You generally make eye contact and you smile. Now, smiles are extremely important in getting people to like you. They have deep psychological meanings. And Dale Carnegie says that they cost nothing and they are worth extremely high value, which makes them very important in influencing people. He says that a smile can simply make you look more attractive. So principle number 2 is to smile. Now, when you meet someone new, you should try really hard to remember their name. If you can't remember their name and associate it with a face, try writing it down on a little note. Now, next time you see them, make sure that you say their name. You greet them by their name. Oh yeah, and don't forget to smile like in principle number 2. But this will surprise them. This is the best gift that you can give them upon meeting them a second time, is remembering their name. A person's name is the sweetest sound that they can ever hear. Remember their name and use it often, and this is principle 3. Now, principle 4 is to encourage people to talk about themselves. If you've ever been in a group of people, you know that a lot of people are egocentric and like to talk about their abilities and their accomplishments. And people love to do this. People love to talk, and people love to talk about themselves. So if you can do something, if you can engage in a conversation to get someone to talk to you about themselves, they will instantly like you, because people love to tell other people about their accomplishments. Ask questions. Questions seem to work really well at probing and getting people to talk more about themselves. So, encourage them to talk more about themselves. Principle 4. The next principle is really interesting, and the book by Dale Carnegie gives a really good analogy. He says that when you go fishing, do you use candy bars? Because you really might like candy, you might like chocolate, but when you go fishing, the fish aren't going to like chocolate. So what you need to do is you need to fish with worms, because the fish love worms. So, how can we apply this to our life? Instead of talking in our interest and what we like, when we talk to people, we should talk in their interest and what they are interested in. And this is principle 5, talk in their interests. And you can do this, there are plenty of ways to do this in your life. Now, for the last principle that Dave Carnegie talks about is works really well if you know how to understand it and use it properly. Now, the first tip I'm going to give you about this principle is when you meet someone, try to have them teach you something. And this will automatically make them like you, because people love teaching you stuff because it makes them feel valuable. It gives them a reason. If you can say, I appreciate you, or I see value in you, and you will win a lot of friends doing this. Emerson once said, every man I meet is my superior, in some way, in that I learn of him. And what he is saying is that every person you meet, you can get something of value out of them. They know something that you don't. And I really like this quote. I found it very interesting. He says that every person you meet, there's something valuable, and if you look for that valuable thing in a person, you will genuinely be interested in them, which is cool. William James said, the deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated. So simply saying, I appreciate you to someone can mean a lot. So, we're going to go back through the 6 principles on how to win friends. The first is to become genuinely interested in them. The second is to smile. The third is to remember their name and use it often in conversation. The fourth is to encourage them to talk about themselves. The fifth is to talk in their interest. And the sixth is to make them feel important, genuinely important. sincerely. Now, if you like this video, like it. If you have any interesting comments, drop them. Leave a comment below. And if you want more videos like this, subscribe. Thanks for watching.